Wow. Wow, man. Wow. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Whew. Man, you know, last night he went into a fight where the odds was against him. Chocolatito Gonzalez, he ain't the same dude. He's washed up. All right. However, when that bell rang, Chocolatito Gonzalez, he showed us. He shocked us. Chocolatito Gonzalez, he showed up. Okay? Regardless what anyone had to say, Chocolatito Gonzalez believed in himself and he showed up. Okay? You know, it kind of reminded me of, you know, these after school specials that used to come on back in my day, you know, when I was in high school and middle school and everything's, you know, oh my goodness, you know, or should I say middle school and high school, right? But yeah, we used to have stuff called, you know, after school specials. And mostly them after school specials was based on stuff, you know, like this with Chocolatito, where no one believed in you and you weren't going to succeed. But at the end, that person who no one believed in succeeded because they believed in themselves. And they wasn't like trying to show everyone, look what I can do. No, they proved it to themselves that they can do it. Okay, just like my man Chocolatito Gonzalez. I wish we still had those after school specials, man. Them bad boys used to be the bomb back in my day. All right. I mean, they were lit. Okay. We had way less suicides back then between, adolescents and young kids and whatnot, because them bad boys had a point, Yeah, it was just like a movie with Chocolatito Gonzalez. Now, people will be saying, oh my goodness, man, he's washed up. Why? Because what? He's 51 with 3 losses. One of his losses came by KO. Now, people of today will say that fighter's washed up. But let's go back, 20, 30 years ago when you had a fighter who had a record like Chocolatito Gonzalez, who had like 51 wins and with 3 losses or so, probably had 1 or 2 knockouts. That fighter was still considered pretty good. That was a pretty good record still, okay? I mean, if you had 60 fights and you had 4 losses, that was still a real good record because look, this person beat 60 men, only lost 4, okay? So that person was still looked at as a good fighter, okay? But in today's standards, if you don't have that 0, you washed up, okay? Oh man, it's over for you. You washed up, yo. You know what I mean? And that plays into the minds of some of these fighters of today as well. You know what I mean? It's like some type of psychological problem here. That they believe that, oh my gosh, I'm no longer undefeated. My boxing career is finished. No. You still looked at as a good fighter. If you had 1, 2, or 3 losses, you still looked at as good. Okay, especially with boxing fans like myself. Okay, still looked at as a pretty good fighter. Now, Chocolatito washed up? Nah. I mean, the only thing that's washed up is him is when he take a shower. Yeah, he's all washed up then. But his boxing career? No. Chocolatito Gonzalez, that boy, he still shines in the ring. Now, people didn't have, much faith in him. He was going up against a kid who only had 18 fights. And then, people were saying, oh, well, some people were saying, we got to remember, that fighter took the fight on a 6-week notice. 6 weeks notice? My goodness, remember what happened last week? When you had a fight and Hector Garcia, who took the fight on a 3-week notice or a 2.5-week notice, and he still went in there and beat the sheets out of Chris Colbert, okay? This kid had 6 weeks, okay? So you do the math, okay? It doesn't matter. I mean, he had way much more time to prepare for Chocolatito than Hector Garcia had time to prepare for a Chris Colbert. However, Chris Colbert still lost to Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia still got it done, all right? So, yeah, man, what a great fight, man. Chocolatito Gonzalez, to me, he was never done, okay? Now, I can see if he lost fights back-to-back, okay? He had like 2 or 3 losses back-to-back, then we might say, okay, maybe it's time for him to hang him up. And another thing, people calling him washed up because he only got 3 losses. My goodness. Or the way he looked and some of his fights. Look, everyone has a bad night in boxing, okay? But no one called Manny Pacquiao washed up. Manny Pacquiao has way more than 3 losses on his record. And people still got faith in him. Now today, they may say, well, he's too old. They'll never say he's washed up, but they'll say he's just too old. Okay, that's what they'll say. All right. But anyways, man, what a great night of boxing. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, congratulations on your victory. Hope you're more success throughout your career. So that's my take on this. This is CMD Boxing Reports, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.